it's Jessie. In today's video we are going to be talking about and reviewing, with no spoilers, the To All the Boys I Loved Before movie adaptation, which was adapted from this lovely book right here, and also behind me I have 2 copies by Jenny Han. I feel like my glasses have too much of a glare, so I'm gonna take them off. Hopefully the camera stays focused because I can't see myself now. So if you guys previously saw my last few videos, I did make 1 or 2 videos on this book right here, and I reacted to the trailer for the movie, and I had such high hopes and expectations with that trailer. You could tell I was so excited. I was so happy. That last trailer was amazing, and I was so happy I reacted to it because I loved my reaction, just because it just made me so happy. The trailer made me so happy. So I was super, and still am, so excited for this movie. I watched it this morning and I loved it. So we're pretty much gonna talk about this movie in all its non-spoiler glory. I'll try my best. I guess if I spoil something, I'll just cut it out. Let's get started. I absolutely adored the casting for this film. I believe it was just done so well, and I was actually really happy that this movie was directed with a female director. That was awesome. But Lara Jean, she was casted so perfectly along with her sisters. Like, Kitty was so cute. I know they aged her up, which I just thought was perfect, and it worked really well. I loved her sassiness, and all their characters' personality was perfect, and just like I said, Lara was just like how I pictured her from the book. And I love the relationship between Lara and all her sisters with her dad. Her dad was such a great character. They had a really special scene in the end, even though the scene that, if you saw the movie, know what I'm talking about, it wasn't like the book. There were some scenes that were like slightly changed, but I think that how they did everything in the movie, it still worked really well, and it came across like the point in the book, and it was just so beautiful and heart-touching. And that's one thing I loved when I read the book. I loved all the deep friendship of the family and all the moments that they had together. It was so warm, and so that's just like one of the things that makes the book such a feel-good, happy contemporary, and it really showed that all around through the movie, which I was super happy about. And the set design as well, whoever designed Lara Jean's room, I thought it was so cool. I loved her wall. I was so happy and so excited when I saw her bookshelf next to her bed that was full of like vintage Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books. That made me so happy because that was me when I was a child. I read every Nancy Drew book and I was obsessed. And the boys were casted so well. I'm looking up the casting now, that way I can say the real names because I just don't want to say their character names. So our main leading men in this movie, I wrote down their names because I knew I wouldn't be able to remember them, is Peter Kavinsky was played by Noah Centineo, and Josh Sanderson was played by Israel Broussard. If I pronounce those names wrong, I apologize. Those 2 leading men were so good. The guy who played Josh was actually kind of how I pictured Josh. I don't really remember how I pictured Peter Kavinsky, but I don't even care because I loved his casting. It was so good. Everything he did to like the fake relationship. Oh, it's just boyfriend material. Like, you're supposed to hate him, but you're not. You just, yeah. Despite all the good things I'm saying about this movie, I was actually pretty scared at first. Like, I only wrote down 1 note, and that was within the first like 2-ish minutes of the movie. I wrote down, first few minutes made me waver and kind of scared because it was kind of filmed like a Disney Channel movie. Like, I was kind of scared that it was gonna be cheesy, but that was not the case. I actually ended up really enjoying it, and I almost thought that it was like a TV show, and I got really sad when I realized and I forgot it was a movie and that it would be ending. And I was like, halfway through I clicked it to see how much I had left. I was like, no, I don't want this to end. I knocked down the book, whoops. It was so addicting, so that's why I'm going to be watching the movie again right after I finish editing this. But I'm also packing too, so I'll have to watch it while I'm packing because let's not forget that I'm moving out of the country. Hashtag stress. We're wondering how we got so lost. Oh, I actually just looked up the Rotten Tomatoes score. I forgot. I didn't know that they did that for Netflix movies, but when I looked up the movie, a Rotten Tomatoes score came up, and it actually has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is actually really amazing because sometimes Rotten Tomatoes can be really strict. So that's actually really pleasing and really happy. My one worry and concern though is, like, you know when a new movie comes out on Netflix, like when The Kissing Booth came out, it was a banner when you open up Netflix on your TV or your laptop and it plays the commercial and everything. I could not find To All the Boys I Loved Before anywhere. Like, I scrolled through like every category movie, I went all the way through, and the only way I could find it is when I had to search it up, and I was like, that's really weird. I don't know if certain movies pay to promote to like be on the head page or what. I hope that it does really well because this is a movie I would really love to see a sequel for because I'm craving it and I need it, and it's such a feel-good book and movie. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually looking up reviews, and so far all the reviews that I'm reading are actually really pleasant and really good. That's a really good sign. So fingers crossed, hoping we get another movie movie. Also, be sure to keep your eyes open for Jenny Han's cameo. She does have a cameo, and the second I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, Jenny! And it was such a long cameo too, so that was a super fun little tidbit from the film. Anyways, I really enjoyed this movie. I loved the comedic lines. I loved all the relationships and chemistry and friendship and love between everybody. That's what makes this movie so addicting and heartwarming, is that it's just such a feel-good contemporary, and that's why I really love this book, and I'm so happy that it was adapted to film, and I really hope we get more in the future since it is a trilogy series, so fingers crossed. Please be sure to let me know what you guys thought of the movie if you've already seen it down below. My name is Jessie. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time, and I am about to go back on Netflix to watch this again and pack, so bye! I forgot I have to take a thumbnail picture.